and I'm very, very excited about raw fish. We'll get to in a minute, but marinated raw fish. Taking us to the islands, you are.
Yeah.
But before we get there, we need some energy. Ugh.
Yes, well, you think you would get energy from them, but it's quite the opposite.
Ugh.
Yes.
I know, look at them. But this is my ignorance. I didn't know they came in cans this big.
They're massive, aren't they? It's the problem with all sorts of drinks these days and sort of food in general is supersizing. So that's 500 mils, two whole cups, and this is the amount of sugar in each of those. So it's even if you were only worried about the sugar, which unfortunately there's other bits in there also, but heaps of sugar there. And so these size drinks here, energy drinks, they're called that really because they have so much caffeine in them. It's like drinking 3 cups of coffee.
Wow.
Yeah, so even on the labelling on the cans themselves, they said you should only have 1 a day. Of course, we don't recommend that you have any a day, but
yeah, exactly.
You know, they're limiting the drinking of them on their own cans because, you know, they are so full of sugar and caffeine.
But what is it? It seems it's like an accessory now. You just see people in the morning having one of these to get them going for the day.
And it's particularly with young students at high school, that sort of thing, it's quite common. Like you say, you wake up tired, you get yourself going, and then you get this sort of zing, and then often at night they can't sleep very well, and then the cycle goes on again. They wake up the next morning and they haven't slept very well, so they have another energy drink. So it's a really sort of dangerous cycle to get into, and yeah, if you can possibly take yourself back out of that, have a good night's sleep and try and get into a normal cycle, yeah. So.
We'll take it back, as you said, with children. Is there food regulations, you know, to stop this?
Yes, well, it's quite amazing actually, because in the food regulations, these drinks aren't allowed to be promoted to 18 years and under, but you can see even the packaging itself obviously appeals to young people. So it's very cleverly done. And when you go into a dairy and that sort of thing, they're at the eye level of young people on the counter, that sort of thing. And I've just brought, they've actually changed the labelling on them since I last checked, but some of the cautions on the cans, which they have to have by law, are very appealing to young people. I'll just quickly read you one of them.
Okay.
Caution. High caffeine content. Okay, we know that's why you're drinking it, but our legal guys made us warn you not to feed this to kids, women with the bun in the oven, or the weak who just can't tolerate it.
Wow.
So that's...
And surely that had to be approved before it went on to the can.
So that's the sort of... And there were other ones similar to that, but I'd probably say even worse, but they've been removed now. So, yeah, so obviously they are appealing to young people, and they're not supposed to be drinking them. So.
Oversimplifying it, Nicola, what, for these children that feel they need the need to have one of these, what can we do to replace that instead of that?
Yeah, well, it will be getting that routine of your day, trying to have a good night's sleep, trying to have water, plenty of water, and the Ministry of Health obviously we're trying to get plenty of water and calcium into young people, so low-fat milk. And I know that people might think, oh, well, that's not a replacement to start with, but even if you need something sweet, then you'd be far better to get up and have a juice and get yourself going with that sort of thing. And try and wean yourself off in that way. It might be a bit hard to go cold turkey to your water.
A smoothie though.
Yes, a drink.
How about a yummy smoothie in the morning?
Yes, absolutely. That's a good breakfast, because that's part of the problem too. That, you know, breakfast might be missed, and this might be the replacement. So even getting back into that, having a good breakfast as a start to the day. And
just a tip out there: if your child feels they need to have something in their hand, well, a smoothie, they come in those gorgeous little containers and stuff like that. If they feel the need to have something, replace it with something funky like that. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But anyway, we'll get off our little soapbox, but it is quite frightening. Okay, this week I'm very excited though. Marinated fish, yum. So, yes, the recipe tomorrow, marinated fish salad, and I just think it's a nice time at this time of year. Peppers actually are a great price, and so that sort of thing, you can add any vegetables really that you can get at a decent price around this time of year. But yeah, beautiful fish, coconut cream, lemon juice to sort of cook that fish, and yeah, it's a great different sort of meal for this time of year. Oh, it is, and it's just beautiful, and it's so refreshing as well. And that recipe will be available on the website tomorrow, and we'll watch how you do it tomorrow. It's very exciting indeed. Good on you for bringing this up, but a lovely way to finish with that gorgeous marinated raw fish. we'll see you next week.
Thanks
so much. Make sure you're watching tomorrow for that recipe.